Something happened here? No? Okay. Well, good afternoon, pipe Freunds, Pfeifen Freunds. It has been an extremely long time since my last video. So I'm trying to make a penitential video here expressing my contrition for my absence on the YouTube pipe community. But I am endeavoring to stay with you through thick and through thin. So it's been a while, and there are some explanations, not excuses, why I am have been away a while. Okay. But first, the housekeeping. I got my beautiful Pfauen. This is one of the very first pipes. In fact, this is the very first pipe I did a box opening on, what, 5-6 years ago? My very first box opening of my Pfauen. Notice I'm saying that correctly. Not Vauen, but Pfauen. As in Vogel, which means bird, auf Deutsch. Okay, so, and I'm in it, I'm smoking this delicious plum cake, which was gifted to me by Tim. Tim, if you're watching, I hope you're doing well as well. Let me say hello to some people I haven't said hello to in a while. So my dear YouTubers. Let's see, let's start off with Herminator. Hermann, my dear friend in Deutschland. David, also in Deutschland. I'll say hello to Tanya in Deutschland. Let's see, Grizzly Mouse Bear, Yogi, Experience. I hope you are alles klar. Okay? So good to see you all. Sure hope you're having a wonderful Zoomer. a frohe Zuma. Okay, so I am here today after a bout of illness. I had a broken tooth about 2.5 weeks ago, and that fortunately did not go as bad as I was afraid it was going to. Then the last 10 days I've had bronchitis, of all things. You're probably thinking, well, kind of not probably a good idea to be smoking a pipe, but that's the kind of commitment that I give to my viewers. And I'm drinking some black coffee. Well, actually, it's some nice pre-autumnal coffee. Okay, so that being said, this tin has been in the refrigerator for the last, I think Tim sent me that box back, gosh, because it had been almost 9 months ago. And so certain tins I did open, and I wanted to make sure that they did not go bad, because I don't smoke every day. I don't smoke every week. Now, I suppose, just like anybody else, I could develop a smoking habit where I would smoke every day. And if I chose to do that, then I guess I would make that decision. But because of my bouts with other addictions, pipe smoking still tends to be something that I truly enjoy. Excuse me. And touch wood, at this point, it is not, or it never has been, a quote addiction. It's just not something I'm fortunate to say that. And the problems with addictions are after you become addicted to something, you don't enjoy it anymore. You become its slave. And unfortunately, if that's the case, then you're basically either smoking or drinking or eating as a response to something that's controlling you. Whereas clearly smoking a pipe once in a great blue moon, I think is a sense of that it's not something that's controlling or driving or, you know, having a mastery over you. It's just so that's basically where it's at with my pipe smoking today. But as I was pulling out this beautiful tin of plum cake, and also a little bag of Twisted Flake, I was probably thinking, well, maybe if I do a long video, probably won't, because I'm going to try some new software on my iPad 10.5. It's called Luma Fusion. We're going to see just how it works, and we're just going to basically make a real simple video, and that's basically all we're going to do today. It's kind of a howdy y'all kind of video. So I've showed you a little bit of, I took some pictures of my new backyard. We put down some sod about 3 months ago, and for the first 2 months it was beautiful. And then when summer hit with the blistering temperatures, and unbeknownst to us, there was a little worm or some kind of a mite, kind of looked more like a little white mealworm that was eating up underneath the soil, and so it started browning up the lawn. And so anyway, we're fixing that now. We did a little had the exterminator come in, and hopefully he killed the bug, and now we can hopefully start regrowing the grass again. It didn't get the whole lawn, but it sure did get most of it. So anyway, plus the temperatures are, today it's 106, and so there you have it. So it's hot here in Chico. But it's supposed to be because it's summer. It's summer. Okay. So one of the things that I learned, and again, I shouldn't be absolutely astounded by this, but I really was hoping that I could preserve this, and so far it hasn't gone bad, but the moistness has it's dried up a little bit. And I first got a hint that something wasn't quite right when I picked up the Twisted Flake, and when I had put it in there originally, it was kind of supple, and there was a moistness to it, and I picked it up and it was dry, and I went going, wait a minute, this has been in a refrigerator with humidity, and now it seems to be kind of dried out. So I'm a little disappointed. I guess had I put everything in an airtight container and then put it in a refrigerator, that would have been the best of both worlds. So that's going to be my next tobacco experiment. But it leads me into what I want to talk about today. So I'm showing you. Am I showing you now the backyard and the fence? Let me do that. Let me roll some B-roll there. Really, I'm so happy with the backyard and the fence. This new fence that was put up about a month ago. We've stained it this kind of cinnamon color. So when the temperatures kind of start, dropping and start to become a little bit more temperate out there, and fall comes, I'm just looking forward to that. Now, you probably hear in the background a kitty cat. Elsie, did you want to go outside? Hold on a second. I have to let my kitty cat out. Oh, there you are. You're so cute and adorable. Here you go, kids. You want to say hello to your fans? Here's this wonderful cat, Elsie. Yep, we're coming up on our little anniversary, August 10th, in just a few days. That's when I got her a year ago. On August 10th. Yes, got this little cute little gray kitty cat. Okay, she needs to go outside now. All right. Okay. Okay, here you go. It's gonna be warm out there. Okay, so good thing she has a fur coat. I'm afraid she's gonna catch her death cold. So anyway, as I look at my little tobacco collection and trying to always find ways to preserve it, keep it, fresh, moist, flavorful, right? That's what we want. I guess the only way to do it is truly become an addict and smoke every day, and then you smoke it up within a week or two and don't have to worry about it. You know, Bob's your uncle, Sally's your aunt. But here's the thing. One of the things I've been kind of really disappointed in the last year. As you can probably tell, I've gained weight. I'm not up to 270 by any stretch of the imagination, but if things had not changed, and they have changed in the last 10 days, I probably could have gained it all back. And here's the thing, and again, I got to be careful. I know some of you have your own very special diets. I'm going to tilt that just a bit. Maybe that'll help a little bit. And there's the big debate between the vegans and the omnivores and the people in the ketogenic diet camp and the paleo camp and the primal camp and, you know, all these different things. And so in December, when I went off the ketogenic diet, and basically December, around the 4th of December, I just said, you know, I did it almost a year. And it would have been a full year without sugar had I gone to December 20th. And for some reason, I just thought, you know what? I didn't see a real drastic change that I thought I was. I didn't lose hardly any weight. I didn't gain anything, but I didn't lose the extra 20 pounds that I thought I was. And I was very disappointed. So, you know, I said, well, maybe, you know, just metabolism being what it is, maybe it's just not a big deal anymore. Who cares? And although the one thing I did stay consistent with, even to this day, is my walking. That probably kept me from really gaining everything rapidly back overnight. But over the last 7 months, when I went to, I tried a plant-based diet. And eating lots of vegetables, but lots of rice and potatoes. Thank you, Dr. McDougall. And so, anyway, I gained about 25 pounds. My glucose went sky high for me, and let's see, and I gained 25 pounds. And my health just and my oral hygiene, my oral health went really bad. When I did the first time, I lost a lot of that weight for the first year and a half, and my gums healed up. The bleeding became almost minimal when I would go to the dentist. When I went to have this broken tooth fixed about 2 weeks ago, the dentist was kind of saying, well, we don't have a hygienist, but I don't have anything going on. I can clean your teeth for you if you want. I said, sounds good. So I thought I'll get, 2 visits for the price of one. Fine with me. So all of a sudden he starts, going in there, scaling my teeth, and my mouth just starts bleeding like a slaughterhouse. And he goes, what's going on with the bleeding here? And he goes, normally you don't bleed like this. And I said, I'm bleeding? What's going on? And he goes, what's your diet been like? And I told him, and he goes, oh yeah, you eat them carbohydrates like that, and they're just the worst thing you can do for your dental health, for your oral hygiene, for your oral health. And they say that the mouth actually is kind of like the canary in the coal mine when it comes to the rest of your health. If you have poor dental, you have bad gums, you have bad teeth, that's a sign that your body's in constant infection, and it's a strong indicator that all is not well in River City. So after that dental visit, and it was actually quite painful, I have to be honest, it was quite one of the more painful experiences. Not excruciating, don't get me wrong, but it was just very, very sore and uncomfortable afterwards. And I decided, okay, I've gained 25 pounds, my glucose is shooting up. It used to be under 100 almost every morning. I check it, it would maybe get up to like 98, 99. But since I started eating all the rice and the potatoes and stuff, it would go up to like 130. I think a couple times I've seen 150. I don't know if I've seen 160, but still, that's a lot. That's high for me, and it's pre-stage pre-diabetic, pre-stage type 2 diabetic. So anyway, I decided about 10 days ago that enough's enough, and although I'm not 100% sure that a ketogenic low carb diet is the greatest diet in the world. It seems to be the case that the carbohydrate diet is not a very healthy diet. And so if some of you are vegans or vegetarians and you're angry at what I just said, all I can tell you is that my health has declined as a result of the last 6 months. Now you might say, well, you're eating fat with all that. Well, if you're eating fat and all that stuff with like dairy, and no, I cut out oils. I cut out dairy completely. I only started having a little bit of dairy the last week, a little bit of the heavy cream for my coffee. But for about 6 months, no cheese, no milk. The only quote-unquote thing I had was like coconut milk or almond milk or cashew milk. And even then, it was very minimal. Didn't drink a lot of it. Not that I don't like it, it's just that I didn't drink a lot of it. And I gave up mayonnaise. I had this veganase. Now that might have been a problem, but again, I didn't use a lot of it. I was like using it every day. So again, I've always known after I did an Atkins diet, 17 years ago when I got out of the Army for the first time, that, sure enough, you do lose weight. You burn the fat. And the other thing that I was doing, and this is where I'm kind of like doing a forensic kind of okay, what happened? What happened here? Part of the thing that has happened is that although I have kept a little bit of physical fitness, as in walking every day and occasionally doing interval running. I did an interval run today, first time since the bronchitis. The one thing that I haven't been consistent with is a real exercise regime. The last time I did something was when I did the TSC challenge, and so as of yesterday I started again. This will be my third TSC challenge, and the reason why I think that had a lot to do with, and also there's one other component, but this is my first day, and I did the squats and the Roman deadlifts and the calf raises, and then I also did 7 miles of walking yesterday. I have about 5 miles in today as walking. I mean, walking's always been, for the most part, pretty consistent, and I think that has kind of kept me in fairly good health. But the thing is that I need to have a system. I need to have something that daily makes me accountable. And it for half an hour to 45 minutes, it challenges me physically. It's uncomfortable. It's something I don't want to do. And I remember starting off the TSC challenge 3 years ago at Good Shepherd, and part of me was saying I'm too old for this. My body's, I'm going to die. For the first several weeks, it was hard. I was kind of scared. But the weird thing was my body responded to it all, and I was able to do it. I mean, and I felt this lethargy, and that's what I'm feeling now. Like I really shouldn't be doing this, or I really don't know why my body is responding, because I feel terrible inside. I feel run down. I feel anemic. I feel tired all the time. And yet, pushing myself through that, after about 3 weeks, my body began to, I guess, change a bit. And I think what it has to do with the mitochondria, and that is that when you start stressing your body physically, it has to produce more mitochondria. And the more mitochondria you have, the more, I guess, protein synthesis you do. Your body begins to create more hormones. I mean, you're doubling and quadrupling all the little, factories in your cells that basically process all the chemical processes in your body. And so if you have small mitochondria count, basically you don't have a lot going on. I mean, you do the basic functions of life, but when it comes to vitality and stuff, you just don't have it. So the only way you increase active mitochondria is by basically physically challenging yourself a little bit every day. So I'm going to see if it works again. I mean, I do have to remember that it did work once, and I'm hoping it's going to work again. So basically, you have to have something. I have to have something that keeps me on the straight and narrow, gives me a goal, gives me a system that I do on a daily basis. Because if I just say, well, I'll go for a walk now, well, you know, I can do that, but I'm not really pushing myself. I'm kind of keeping myself at a certain level of activity, which is good. I mean, I'm not just sitting around being sedentary and, you know, just sitting at a desk for 8 hours or watching TV for 8 hours. But I am physically moving, and that's very, very important. But the other thing is you do have to put your body in some kind of a stressful situation. You have to challenge it a little bit every day, I think. Not a lot, you know, just a little bit's enough. But once it's stressed a little bit, then it begins to produce more mitochondria. That's what I've been told recently, and I'm thinking, okay. So that's what I've decided to do, is that even though I'm feeling like warmed over dog poop inside, I just, you know, and part of it's bronchitis. Taking antibiotics just really makes me tired and lethargic. So it's like having to really push myself through these walls to say, no, I'm going to do it. You know, this morning, going for the interval run was, I'll be honest, it was hard, and it's hot out there. It was like close to 90 degrees about 10 o'clock this morning. It's probably 107, 106 right now. So it's a hot day. It's going to be a hot day tomorrow. It was a hot day yesterday. We're kind of going through another heat storm. And that takes it out of you as well. So, but anyway, that's part of the reason why I have been kind of absent without leave, is because, where's my trusty rusty lighter there? I just haven't been feeling well. And I've just been, you know, kind of like just trying to get over the busted tooth and the bronchitis, as well as doing all the parish things that I'm responsible for as well. We're refurbishing our parish, and we're remodeling it. And it looks nice. I think it's going to be very beautiful when it's all said and done. So I'm excited about that. But it's a process. It's not without problems. I ran into a few problems again about a month and a half ago, and trying to resolve those. But for the most part, things are moving forward, and you know, the people that have been the artisans and the craftsmen that have come to refurbish, renovate the church. It looks really nice, and so I'm really excited about that. So anyway, I guess here's the thing is, you know, just as I was sharing with you the plum cake in the refrigerator, theory, you know, it sounded good. You know, it sounded like, okay, usually a refrigerator has a lot of humidity. Now maybe if I kept it in the vegetable compartment, that would have worked. I just put it in the refrigerator in the back and left it there. Thinking, well, okay, it's not going to dry out because it's not going to be in a warm, you know, space, or at least, you know, it's not literally open to the air. And I guess I could have put this in a mason jar. I think there's one big enough that I could actually fit the tin in there, so I think that would have worked too. But I assumed that this was going to be a good fix, and it was going to, you know, keep things nice and moist. Well, you know, 7-8 months later, I recognized, oops, no, it didn't quite work out the way I thought it. This isn't ruined. It's not ruined. It's alive. It's alive. Okay, so anyway, and again, I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed in the plant-based diet, or the quote-unquote, and I guess for most part, it was kind of a vegan diet. I mean, I wasn't eating any animal products. Well, hold on a second. This got really high. Okay. So I was eating salads every day, and rice and potatoes. Not all that at the same time. Sometimes I'd have some rice, and sometimes I'd have a nice baked potato. And no, there was no sour cream, there was no butter, there was no oil. You know, again, those were all naughty things, you know. And I'm thinking, okay, if I eat this way, I'm going to prevent heart attack and I'm going to lose weight. And so far, thanks be to God, the first one I haven't figured out if that's viable or not. But the second one, as far as losing weight, no, I gained 25 pounds. Now, I want to just be fair. Dr. Furman, his Eat to Live program, he doesn't do carbohydrates and grains the way Dr. McDougall does. Now, I would say there's a lot of people on YouTube that'll tell you that they lost a tremendous amount of weight eating nothing but potatoes or eating a plant-based diet. And I think I have to remember that these are people that are morbidly obese for the most part. They are not people that have a few pounds to lose. They're people that really hit like 300, 400 pounds, okay? And when they stop eating the standard American diet, cut out all the diet sodas and the candy and the junk food and the fast food and eat this way, yeah, they are going to lose weight. There's no doubt about it. Because their body is like, whoa, real nourishment, real food. Okay, great. But for somebody that's coming from where I'm at, who has been kind of carb restricted for several years for the most part, and then just reintroducing starchy carbs back into your life again, even without the oil, the sugar, and the butter and the cream and the cheese and all that, it's still, at least for me, I'm insulin resistant. I think I do have metabolic syndrome, and so I know I need to really be careful with carbohydrates. One of the things that I did talk about in one of my videos, or several of my videos, is the difference between responsible eating and recreational eating. And sometimes, I have to say I probably did a lot more recreational eating, thinking, well, it's okay, this is healthy food, I can eat as much of it as I want. Wrong. So the other thing I'm implementing is of course, the fasting again. Of course, I was kind of doing that already, kind of, sort of. But now the radical fasting of the 2 36-hour fasts a week, I'm going to reintroduce those and stay consistent. So the three things that I need to do in order to get down, I took a picture of me and my original weight. Now I'll share that hopefully within about a month or two. I can say this is what I did look like, and now here's where I'm at today. But I don't feel it's necessary to do that now because it's just like, well, yeah, you're fat and you're overweight, so you need to lose weight again. So, but the three things that I think are going to help again are a commitment to a daily exercise program, and this is the TSC Challenge. The new one out by Chris Kruger is called Effortless 8, and I did actually get that this weekend, but I just had said, I got to start something, and I got to do it now. Not tomorrow, not next week. I got to start it now. So I found my old TSC program on my other computer, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to start it. I'm going to print up the worksheets, and I'm going to start, today. I'm not going to screw around anymore. The second thing was, get rid of the carbs, the starchy carbs, and I did that. Here's one of my meals I had last night. Now, some of you might be grossed over this. This is just good old-fashioned beef liver, yum, and a salad. And that's it. That's all I had for dinner last night. And some berries. I had some berries with some little bit of cream, and that was about it. Again, no sugar. So the exercise program, consistency, daily accountability, that's one. The second one is the commitment to a 2-day 36-hour fast, because that's how I really lost an awful lot of weight. It's hard to get back into that kind of deep level fasting. But once you, of course, now it's easy because I don't have carb addiction. I don't have carb flu because I got rid of carbs about 10 days ago. Maybe almost 2 weeks ago. Let's see. Yeah, okay, 2 weeks ago I had the tooth fixed and I had all the bleeding. And that's when I said, that's it. We're done with the high starch, high carb diet. We're getting rid of that now. So Thursday, I think I literally, or maybe even Wednesday night, I got home and said, I'm going to have a steak and a salad. I think that's what I did. So it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow that I've been back on a more of a ketogenic diet. And then the third thing that's really, really important is consistency. That's for me. I can't play mind games like saying, well, I was so good yesterday, I can have a little. Well, no, you can't do that. Or, man, I walked a little bit longer than I did yesterday. I don't need to really do my 20 minutes or 30 minutes today. No, God, can't do that. Or, hitting the weights and saying, well, I really don't want to do the weights today because after all, it's 107 degrees outside. Yeah, well, you're doing the weight inside where it's 70 degrees, okay? There's no excuses. And that was the thing I think that really made the difference was I started doing it even though the first couple weeks it was really hard. But I pushed my body through it. And the funny thing was I said, I actually do remember kind of that funny, foggy feeling in the very beginning when I would do it. But then about 3 weeks into it, that all went away and I started clearing up and I started feeling great. So, again, I haven't been doing the hard exercise like I did at Good Shepherd only because I just didn't have time. I thought, well, I'll just do the minimum and see if that can, keep me where I need to be. Well, the minimum can keep you where you're at, and as long as you don't give yourself too many indulgences, you'll probably stay at a pretty healthy weight. But the moment you start going off the reservation, the moment you start playing around with things you shouldn't, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. And I'm here to tell you that. So the good news is that there are solutions, real solutions, but they're not necessarily going to be comfortable solutions. They're going to be hard. And there was another documentary I saw about 2 or 3 weeks ago about an Australian guy kind of doing what this guy named Drew Manning did, fat to fit, where here's this instructor guy, maybe you've heard of him or not, maybe you've heard other guys doing this, and they're fitness models, they're trainers, personal trainers, and they gain 60, 70 pounds to see what it's like being overweight and obese. The goal is to hopefully so they can be more empathetic to the guy who comes in off the street that's 300 pounds and, try to encourage them gently but strongly enough to where they will want to make that life change for themselves. So anyway, there's a guy in Australia that did it. I think it's on fat to back or something like fat and back. Yeah, I guess that's what he called his transformation, his double transformation. Here was this, extremely, lean guy, and he got about 260 pounds, and he was like 180. No, actually, no. Gosh, I think he gained. Yeah, he's like 186 roughly, because he had a lot of muscles too. So so he went from that to 260, 270 pounds. So that was quite a lot, and he got sick. Everybody that does this, the one thing that happens is they become extremely lethargic, and their blood chemistry just goes into the toilet within a matter of weeks. Not just a matter of months, but a matter of weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. It's like looking at if you were looking at their blood chem panels, you would think you're looking at two different people. Literally. That's how shocking it happens. Oh. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I want to kind of get out here and be a little accountable, be honest. Haven't been wanting to make videos because, one, I've just been, partly tired, mostly tired, sick, got problems, like everybody else. I'm whining now. I know, I'm whining. But I just thought, I don't want to make people think that I don't want to be invested in trying to be a part of the community, because I still am, to a certain extent, and I hope all of you are doing well. So there's so many people out there that are very kind and, drop little messages from time to time. Richard T. and let's see, Gary, of course, dear Gary Potier, the Gentleman Scholar, the Sutter girls. There's a lot of people that have, Grandpa Cavendish. And there's been some new people that I haven't really gotten a chance to really know a lot. Maybe they probably have given up on me responding after 2 or 3 months, and I don't blame you. But anyway, there's just been some steady people out there that I still, I guess, of course, matches 860. You know, I got to see a matches video here pretty soon. But anyway, those are the people that I remember and still follow and want to know how they're doing and hope they're doing well. Even old Tom, My Monk's vlog, I don't know if he's still out there or not. I haven't checked on him. Of course, Mark, making change. And so anyway, those are some of the folks that I remember and say hi to. Hope you're doing well. And so I guess that's just all this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to try putting this video together using a new program on my iPad 10.5 called Luma Fusion. See how that works and get this up there today. So at least you'll kind of realize that I'm not dead. That's right. I'm still kicking. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope that you're enjoying a pipe wherever you're at, or a cigar. I got a nice Gurkha the other day, well, a couple weeks ago, and I need to probably smoke that maybe a little bit later tonight if I can, if I don't feel too bad. So there you have it. Oops. So anyway, Holy Smoking Pipe Holy Smoking Pipe Pod Ray, signing off for now, and light up your world, light up your pipe, and we'll be hopefully talking to you real soon. See ya.